Hello, beautiful human. How are you? Welcome back to the Unstoppable You podcast. I'm your host, Evie. I am a life and confidence coach and business mentor, and I am so excited to be back and here recording. It's been a little time. I was unwell with a really bad flu / possibly COVID for some time and had very minimal voice. So I'm really excited to be back, and it feels extra special to be back here. And so I hope you love the podcast episode for this week. It's really, it is truly really wonderful to be here and to be back with you. I miss this. Now we're back with a really great episode for you if you are a coach, a consultant, a space holder, a healer of some sort. If you have a soul-led business and you want to grow and expand your impact, your income this year, this is the episode for you. I've got awesome, juicy, free things in addition to this podcast episode, 2 of them that I can't wait to share with you in a moment. So stay tuned for that. Everything is linked in the show notes. But thanks for being here. Let's dive in without further ado. So let's go. Now, normally I come on and I share a quote, an inspiration quote of some sort at the start of each podcast episode. But today I wanted to share, actually I'm just going to grab it. Today I wanted to share one of the oracle cards that I pulled for myself this morning, but I think it's a really topical and really relevant one for many of you. And I'm excited to share these. So this is from the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle card deck. If you've been around my world, you'll know that these are one of my favorite. This is probably the favorite card deck of Oracle card deck that I have. Okay, so 2 cards for you, actually 3. I'm going to share all 3. This is like my personal spread, but I also think it's really relevant for you guys. And for some reason, I feel really called to share this here on the podcast. So I know that it's going to land and support some of you here listening. So the first one is the Warrior Woman. Here's the card. Warrior Woman. And the little prompt for you here, which I'd love to offer you here today, is if you weren't afraid, what would you do? If you weren't afraid, what would you do? Powerful prompt. Love this question. I think that's a really beautiful one. The second one I pulled was align your life. I'm going to focus. I'm showing this here. If you're watching over on YouTube, you can see the actual beautiful cards that I've pulled. So align your life. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? Another really powerful question. And then the third one, share your voice. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution, expression. Love it. So potentially there's some really beautiful messages in here, right? About self-expression, about sharing your voice, sharing your true self, about aligning your life, letting go of things that are not in true alignment with you anymore. And maybe that's just being really, really discerning with those things. And then if you weren't afraid, what would you do? If you were really embodying and embracing the archetype of the warrior woman, what would you do? I really love that question and that prompt because I think it's a really powerful thing that sometimes we need to hear from time to time. So I hope they're really supportive for you, and I know that they're going to be someone needed to hear those. Someone needed to hear those today. Alrighty, let's dive in. So I really wanted to devote this podcast episode today to a few of the key things, 3 steps that are going to really support you if you want to grow your soul-led business this year. So like I said, if you're a coach, a creative, a space holder, a healer, if you've got an online service-based business, I'm your gal. This is where we're at. And I want to support you to expand your business this year. The first thing that I should mention is that the Strategy and Soul Mastermind is coming back really soon. And so I'm going to link all of that in the show notes as well. Pop your name on the wait list so you'll get first access and some incredible bonuses. And that's going to obviously really support you. But I wanted to create a standalone episode that I think is going to be really timely and supportive for many of you. Okay, the first one is a mindset one, is really about And I talk about this a lot with clients. And it's something that's woven through all of my work, because I feel like we can't only talk about strategy. And if no matter how good your strategy is, if you don't have a really rock solid mindset, if you haven't done some of the inner work around healing and letting go of some of the things that are really holding you back, or any limiting beliefs or stories that you're telling yourself or your mind is telling yourself, then no matter how good the strategy is, it ain't going to work, right? And so mindset is so crucial. So the first one has to be about essentially committing or doing the mindset work along the way. And this is not just doing it before you launch your business or in the early days. This is about doing the mindset work to up level at every stage of your business. This is a lifelong commitment because we are humans, we are having human experiences. And at each up level or each expansion of your soul business is going to require a new version of yourself. It's going to require you to really believe in this next up level, and for you to fully have and hold and receive that. And so much of that is about doing the inner work and doing the mindset work to support yourself with that. Now, specifically in terms of doing the mindset work and doing the inner work, obviously there's loads of different ways to do this. And I love supporting people with this on a really personalized level, in a one-to-one call, or in a Voxer conversation, or in a group call on the mastermind, perhaps. And so that we can really get to the nitty-gritty of what it is specifically that's holding them back. And then I can obviously give them personalized advice. But one thing that I really wanted to share on the podcast that I think is really relevant and really supportive in terms of mindset as a whole, no matter who you are, no matter what type of business that you have, and no matter what stage of business that you're in, priming your mind and priming your mindset is so important. And this is the key thing that I wanted you to take away from step number one. The first key point here is that I would really encourage you to commit to some kind of priming exercise, some kind of mindset work that you would do and commit to every single day that's going to support you to believe and live from that mindset, or from that new mantra or that new affirmation. So there's loads of different ways to do this, of course. And I created this epic free audio for you. I actually created this a little while back, and some of my current masterminders will know this and love this. And we talked about this just this morning on one of our group calls, about how good this priming audio really, really is. I'm a huge fan, and I think you'll love it too. And I wanted to take the ease I wanted to make it easy for you. I wanted to take out then I have to create this whole audio file to listen to myself, to prime myself for the day. I wanted to make it really easy for you. So you actually committed and did this. So I'm gifting this free audio file to you. It is a morning gratitude priming audio. It's like a meditation, like a priming, like an Evie pep talk. It's having Evie in your ears, having me in your ears. And it's the pep talk that you need. So I would really recommend that you go into the show notes, or if you've got the email, if you're on my list, you'll also know about this. But make sure you go and click on that and download the audio file, put it on your phone, have it somewhere, or maybe it's on your computer as well, but have it where you can play it to yourself every single day. And if you could do this every morning, amazing. Or maybe it's before you're about to start your work day, or perhaps it's before you're about to create something in your business. And also use it in those times when you feel like your mindset just needs a bit of a fine tune. And when you feel like there's a few wobbles popping in, this is the perfect audio for you to play then. So I think you're going to love it. I'm excited for you to listen to it, and I would love to hear your feedback. So let me know if you have listened to this, and I hope it becomes a regular thing for you to really support your mindset and developing that really rock solid mindset, because that is the one of the most powerful business strategies of all, is really developing your mindset. So that is number one. Make sure you commit to a mindset daily practice. Is that priming? Is it a meditation? Is it affirmations? Is it an audio track or file that you listen to? And if you want mine, grab it. I love it. I personally use this, and I think that you'll really like it too. Okay, number two, we're moving into a little bit more of the strategy stuff now. Number two is don't be afraid to try things out. So essentially what we're doing here is that, like, the key message I really wanted to share is that you just have to take action. And I think in the earlier stages, sometimes it can be so easy to overthink everything and to get really overwhelmed by what to focus on because there's so much that you could be doing. And as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you'll know that your to-do list is one of those never-ending things. And now being, gosh, 5-6 years into my business, my to-do list is always a forever thing. It's still there, right? I mean, obviously it's shifting and changing all the time, but you're always going to have things to do essentially. But it can be really overwhelming at the start, right? To have one of those big to-do lists and also to know what to really focus on. And I think that sometimes what happens is that we can get into what I call analysis paralysis, where we're overthinking everything. And so we just don't take action at all. Or we're like, oh, I have to sit on this idea and wait for it to be completely landed or to be quote unquote perfect or to have all of my ducks in a row or to have the entire program created from start to woe, every single email, every single piece of content or whatever it is, that like everything has to be sorted and created before you actually talk about it or before you actually share the thing. And that what I see is the mistake here is that we're missing out so much valuable input, feedback, insights, knowledge, the clarity that only comes through action. Through action comes clarity. Remember that. It's one of my favorite all-time sayings and quotes, and I think it's so helpful and so supportive to remember this in business. Sometimes we just have to try it out. We just have to taste test it. We just have to put our feelers out there. We have to start those conversations. And so if there's anything that you take from today, one, priming your mindset every single day. And then this second point is really about taking action consistently towards your vision and your dream, even if you don't know with 100% certainty, because no one ever does, remember, that this one thing is going to be it, or this one thing is going to be something that sticks or stays around forever. Like full permission to change and evolve your business as you go. And every piece of content doesn't need to be completely polished and perfect. Every offer and thing that you put out to the world doesn't have to be like a long-term thing. It doesn't have to be everything. It doesn't have to be your number one core offer, right? You really just have to try it out and put it out there and see. And that's going to give you the most clarity and feedback that you need, really, especially in those earlier stages where you're figuring things out and you're finding your feet in your niche, in your messaging, in your offers, and specifically about how you support your ideal clients or what really works for you, right? So if you're in doubt of like, do I put this out there? Do I do this? Do I not? I believe that the answer is most likely going to be yes. Take some action towards it. So for example, this could look like getting some market research. It could be putting a poll or out on your Instagram stories and asking for some feedback. It could be putting the question box on Instagram stories. It could be creating some kind of survey or questionnaire that you create and ask people to give you some feedback around this or to give you some insights for market research. And maybe there's some kind of gift in exchange for that. It could be that you do a pilot run of a program, right? Or like a beta launch, and it's testing out this new offer or this program. And maybe it's at a slightly lower price point. I've certainly done this in my time as well. And it's so good because it means that you're showing up and taking action towards the thing and you're getting invaluable feedback, responses, insights from how you like to do it, how you show up, how does it feel for you, but also how is it received by your ideal clients in your community. And then based on that, we then go into the second round of the launch of that thing or whatever it is that you're testing out and trying out. You then just have so much more clarity. And that is missing, I think a lot of the time, especially in the earlier stages, is that we just want to so often be perceived as the guru, the expert. We want to not make any mistakes. We want to make sure that everything looks good and it's all polished, and all of these sorts of things. But I really think that you're doing yourself a disservice by waiting and not acting on some of those things, because sometimes you only know through taking action and doing it. And that is going to give you so much clarity, but it's also going to mean that you're showing up, you're being visible, you're being top of mind for your ideal clients in your community. And that is so important, which leads me to our third point. So second one is really just taking actions, not getting an analysis paralysis, and starting to take small steps, even if it's just asking some questions, playing around with some ideas, putting some feelers out, doing a pilot or beta round of a launch or a program. And that's going to give you the answers that I think that you're desiring and craving right now. So the third point, number 3, is you have to be visible. Like, if you want to expand and grow your business this year and beyond, you have to be visible. You have to be putting yourself out there, and you have to be putting yourself out there in front of your ideal clients and your potential new clients and customers, and growing your community. You really do. So I think there's a misperception, and I certainly fell trap to this very early on in my business many years ago now, of thinking that if I had a paid website, if I had it all up and running and it looked beautiful, it was like perfectly written, blah, 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 that somehow people would find me, that they would find my website and that they would click through and they would book a discovery call and they would buy my coaching services and become a client. And yes, that does happen. And yes, that will happen to you. But that is not always the way. In fact, it's not normally the way. And that we have to do our own marketing. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to be being visible, being seen by our ideal clients and our customers. Now, there's lots of different ways about how to go about this. But one thing I think we really need to talk to first and foremost is just checking in with yourself around the idea of being fully seen in your magic, fully seen in your gifts, fully seen in your soul work, fully seen as you as a coach, as a consultant, as a healer, as a space holder, as a guide. Like, you have to really fully be okay with that first and foremost. And sometimes that takes some courage. And sometimes that takes a few conversations and some coaching support around this to overcome the limiting beliefs, to overcome the wobbles or the mindset hurdles that are holding you back from fully being seen in your authenticity, in your magic, in your light work, in your soul's work. So I would earmark that if there's something in there that feels like being seen and being visible and putting myself out there feels really stretchy for you right now, more than likely there's something in that for you to navigate and to heal, let go, work through, etc. So I think that's a really important place to start first and foremost if that's you. Now, where do we start with this? There's so much to this conversation, and obviously I'm condensing down into a couple of key points that I want you to take away for this particular podcast episode, but I'm going to be teaching a whole lot more about this in my free upcoming masterclass really soon. I'm going to share the details with you in a moment, but the links are in the show notes, so make sure you click on that, put your name on the list because you want to be there. So the first one I wanted to share is not choosing every single possible social media or marketing platform and doing everything. You do not have to go on every single marketing platform. You do not have to be on every single social media platform and channel to be visible. It's not about doing everything and spreading yourself so thin and having sort of that scarcity mindset of I just have to be everywhere so that, I'm covering all my bases and so I'm being seen by all these people. But we're not having the depth on those same platforms or through those channels purely because you're spreading yourself too thin. So the key thing here is just choosing a couple of those key platforms that make sense for you, your line of work, your business, and your ideal client. Where they, right? So choosing a couple of those key platforms, not doing all of them. Being so deeply authentic is what I wrote down. You have to be authentic. to stand out online. I really believe that that is the only way that you're going to stand out online and really shine through, is about being so deeply authentic, being your true self, sharing your true self, and making sure that you're sharing and creating from that place. I mean, especially with AI and all of the changes that we're seeing in the online space, it is so important to be authentic and to be your most true self, and to be it's like that first, it's the warrior woman card. It's the card that I shared earlier. It's like, if you weren't afraid, what would you do? It's about having the courage, about fully trusting yourself and having the confidence to be and share your most authentic self, and to really own your thought leadership. Own what matters to you, own the things that you really care about and that your ideal clients will care about too. Like really taking a stance on that and knowing that you're not for everyone, and that's absolutely okay. So really being authentic and being seen in that way. Consistency, of course. Any kind of marketing, any kind of social media platform or channel, you have to be consistent. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be constantly on there. No way. So don't confuse consistently with constantly. Consistency looks different for everyone, but you've got to be consistent. There is no way around that. And that doesn't mean that you can't have time off. It doesn't mean that you can't have some sick days. It doesn't mean that you can't have holidays and school holidays off, or when your kids need you, etc. But it's really about planning around that and for that, and also, yeah, allowing yourself to be human with it, and showing up as consistently as you possibly can. Essentially, I think is the best way to go about that. Now, the other key part of all of this, which I've alluded to here, is that we really need to be building a personal brand. If you're not building a personal brand in 2025 and you have an online business, then what the heck are you doing? You are all personal brands. You will have a personal brand, whether you like it or not. And it's your role, it's your responsibility to build that. And so that is the key piece that I wanted to speak to a whole lot more. Maybe also another standalone podcast episode on this if you're keen, but it's certainly something that I'm going to teach a whole lot more in my free upcoming masterclass. So make sure you put your name on the list for that one. It's going to support you so much to be really visible online and to attract in your aligned people, your aligned clients. So I think this is a really key part of it, is building a personal brand so that you can be really visible and show up and serve your people. They can find you, they'll be magnetized to you, and they'll want to step closer to you and work with you. Alrighty, those are the three key things. And now my bonus one for you, which is completely free, probably should charge for this, probably should be a paid thing, but I want to give it to you for free, which is this free masterclass that I'm going to run in 2 weeks' time at the time of recording this. So really soon, on the 29th of April, 7:30 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time at the time of recording this. So if you're listening to the podcast soon after it's been released, come join us. You want to be in the room. It's totally free. There's going to be a free workbook as well, which is going to be a game changer for you to go away and literally have all the information so you can go away and implement it into your own business. So you want to be there. You want to be there with us. It is all about building your soulful business and expanding your soulful business in 2025. So you want to be there. Okay, so in this free masterclass, you will learn the following. You will learn the key shifts that need to happen, that are required if you want to expand your business your way this year, right? And it's really without following a cookie cutter, one size fits all formula, because P.S. they don't work. You are also going to learn how to refine your personal brand so it feels authentic, magnetic, and deeply you. This is a game changer. I shared this with some clients recently and they absolutely loved it. Now, the third thing we're going to go over is the energetic and strategic foundations for business growth. We're going to talk about strategy, and I want to support you with this, because expansion isn't just about doing more or doing all of the things. In fact, I don't agree with that, and I don't think that that's supportive. It's actually probably more detrimental, but it's really about creating strategic plans for you and your unique business and your gifts. And we're also going to talk about why doing the inner work, building the confidence, building the self-work, doing the mindset work is just as crucial as strategy, as I mentioned today, and how you can integrate both of these to grow, to scale your business this year. It's going to be freaking epic. It's going to be really powerful. I can't wait to have you there in the room. There will be a replay, of course, if you can't attend us live, but in order to get that replay, you must be on the list. So make sure you put your name down. Totally free. So, my loves, reminders. Number one, get yourself in the masterclass. Get yourself in the free masterclass. It's coming up really soon, the 29th of April, 7:30 New Zealand Standard Time. Download your free audio, completely free. Again, probably should pay the charge for this. It is so good. It's a priming audio. It's only a couple of minutes long that I think will be such a game changer for you. So make sure you check that out. It's totally free. Go grab it, pop it on your phone, listen to it, tell me what you think. And then just going over some of the key points today. Remember, I think taking action and starting and taking some action, trial and error, putting some things out there is so important. In fact, any action is better than no action, really. But it is about, like, there's so many ways to test out ideas, to get market research, to have conversations, to do a pilot round, to do a lower cost beta round of a program, etc. And all of those things are going to give you so much clarity and momentum forward. Like, there's so much in that point that I could speak on for hours. But really, truly, please start taking action towards your dream and your vision. It's gonna, future you is gonna thank you so much. Now, number 3 was being visible. You've got to be visible. So doing the mindset work to overcome any of the wobbles that you might have around fully being seen in your light work and your magic and your authentic power, and choosing a few key platforms, going big on those, being really consistent, and making sure that you're building a personal brand. And of course, if you want to learn more about all of this, come join me on the 29th of April. It's going to be freaking epic. I can't wait for it. And I can't wait to see you there. So, my loves, that is it from me. Thanks so much for sharing the space and time. Thanks for being here. Let me know what you think. Download the free audio, the priming meditation, and see you in a couple of weeks' time, maybe less than that now at the time of recording this, or whenever you're listening to this, for Soulful Business Expansion, the Blueprint. That is my free masterclass coming up really, really soon. I can't wait. See you there.